I made an appointment to see my primary care physician for an emergency appointment. He saw me right away, and he examined me. I don't know what he wrote on this piece of paper on his prescription pad, but he sent me to the ER. He told me to go to the ER for some tests. I handed it to the front desk. You know, they usually hand you a nice little clipboard with a ton of paperwork to fill out. This one was a half sheet of paper. They just wanted my name. They wanted my license and my insurance card. That's it. Sat down. 3 minutes later, I was back getting examined by doctors. After running some tests, they saw that I had some abdominal hernias, which I knew about. They were scheduled for surgery in a couple weeks. But, they were questioning my gallbladder function, and my labs were a little off. They weren't quite sure what was going on. So I was admitted for observation. I spent about a week in the hospital. Most of the tests came back normal. They sent me home, made an appointment to see my surgeon, and the surgeon said we were going to proceed. And he said if he thought my gallbladder was faulty, he was going to take it out while he was inside. It's supposed to be a 45-minute surgery. 3 weeks later, I check into the hospital. And I've had the procedure before, so I expect it to be a little bit bloated, a little uncomfortable. I woke up in the recovery room, wrapped up like a mummy, and screaming bloody murder. The nurses are telling me not to move because I just had major surgery. Of course, I was confused. I'm like, what do you mean major surgery? As I'm yelling in pain, they're like, the doctor will come in to see you in 1 second. Surgeon comes in, and he said while he was inside, he noticed my abdominal wall was Swiss cheese. Instead of 2 hernias, there were over 15. That's how he stopped counting at 15. So they had to make an executive decision and open me up from my belly button to just under my chest for surgery to repair all the damage, which was supposed to be an outpatient surgery, but obviously with that kind of a procedure, they said they were going to keep me for a couple days for observation. Next day, he comes in. He's like, you're doing well. I don't like the way you're swelling a little bit. And my labs were a little off. Again, they ran more tests, and they found that there was a small bleed that they said should stop on its own. The surgery was on Monday. About 4 or 5 in the morning on Friday morning, a hurricane of people run into my room, and they're telling me I'm going to surgery to stop the internal bleeding. It's supposed to be a 30-minute procedure via scope. I'm already, at this time, feeling better. I've been up walking around. I'm sore. But, again, what am I going to do? So I consent to it. Woke up in recovery. And, again, I'm screaming bloody murder. They had to redo the entire original procedure, which was another 4.5 hours. And they reopened the original wound, so I was in a lot of pain, to say the least. About 1 a.m. the following morning, I woke up to what can be described as burning. So imagine if somebody replaced your blood with lighter fluid and lit it on fire. At the same time, you're getting electrocuted. That's what I was feeling in my right quad. They thought it was a blood clot. Came out negative. over the next, few days, it was deemed that I have a condition called neuralgia paresthesia, which they said should last 6 months to a year. We're a little over 3 years later. I still have that pain every second of the day. It's very sensitive to light touch, sound, weather. Some of you who I'm friends with on Facebook know I talk about pain. It's a part of my life now. So I spent about a little over 2 weeks. I think it was like 16 or 17 days in the hospital, and I was discharged. Now I'm home on disability. And if you guys have ever been on disability, they pay you about 40% of your salary, which you're barely getting by. I am now dealing with this severe pain that I've never had in my life. And I'm on all kinds of medications. I had high blood pressure, high cholesterol, pre-diabetes anyways, and including all the pain meds that we were trying and other things. I was taking about 30 pills a day. So I was home, depressed, in pain, not working. So I ate. I gained back that 60 pounds that I lost, plus another 40. So I gained 100 pounds in about 7 months. All of a sudden, I saw that commercial for T25, and I was like, I think I can do that. And I was like, wait a minute, Christina does this stuff. So I reached out to my old friend, Christina Delgado, who I have not spoken to in 13 years. We were Facebook friends, but I don't think we ever said a word to each other. Maybe like, hey, it's good to see you. And that's it. We scheduled a phone call, and I was that dream customer where you listen to what I have, my issues. I asked how much it was. You tell me, and you mentioned, oh, there's a way that you can make some money or for a discount. And I said, okay. I went home and I signed up right away. No questions asked. Started T25 about a week and a half into it. The doctor shut me down because of my pain issues, but I still kept drinking Shakeology. And again, because I was depressed, in pain, I was not happy with myself. And New Year's Eve, one of my best friends was having a party at her condo, and I didn't want to go because I couldn't find anything to fit me that to wear because I had gained so much weight. We figured it out, found something. They came to pick me up, and I remember looking at the mirror and said, that's it. I don't care what the doctor said. And the very next day, I started T25. Within a couple months, 4 months, 5 months, the doctors took me off most of my meds for high blood pressure, cholesterol, pre-diabetes. And I think I had lost like 25, 30 pounds within the first 2 months. And about a month later, they took me off the rest of my meds because my blood work was perfect. I always say that Shakeology saved my life because my blood pressure, even medicated, was stroke level. If any of you guys are in the medical field, my blood pressure was about 180 over 140, which is about stroke level. I was 37, 38 years old, and I was at risk of having a stroke. So, like I said, Shakeology saved my life. So that's pretty much how I got started with and involved with Beachbody. And like I said, my story's a little crazy now. Now that you guys know what I deal with on a daily basis with pain, Morgan asked me to talk about consistency. Consistency is the key to your business. Even when you don't want to get up and do it, you've had a long day at work, or you're just tired, you're not feeling well. Well, guess what? Every single day to get out of bed can take me about an hour just because I don't sleep well. When I'm having very high pain periods, I sleep an average of 2 to 12 hours a week. But every single day, I show up for myself, for my customers, because we have to set good examples. Consistency. So you should be posting on your social media 3 to 5 times a day. Talk about how you're feeling, not just posting about products. I mean, people want to get to know the real you. So, like myself, I talk about my struggles often. And I start off my mornings by finding a quote or motivational saying that motivates me to get up and get out of bed that day, because every day is different. I need something else. I'll watch a video, but I will share it. And a lot of people go send me messages and say, thank you for that. I needed that. And it's kind of ironic because I don't post that for them. I post that for me. So you never know what somebody else is feeling, and they can relate to what you're feeling as well. If you're not working off a list when you're reaching out to your customers, you're doing or potential customers, you're doing yourself a disservice. Every month, I write down a list of 50 to 100 people of who I want to contact and connect with that month. I spend the entire month, maybe 2 to 3 hours a day, connecting with those people, building the relationship. Never once do I mention something about Beachbody unless they bring it up, because I don't want people to think that I'm just reaching out to them to make a sale. Because yes, we sell products. That's part of our business. But I don't want anybody to feel that that's why I'm reaching out to them. At the very beginning of the next month, I invite them to a challenge. I'm like, hey, I have a challenge group coming up on this date. Would you be interested in being a part of it? Or if I see them, in conversation, mention that they want to do something about their weight, gain weight, lose weight, whatever their goals are, we'll talk about it. And that's when I'll invite them to a challenge group. So I take a solid month to build those relationships, and the conversations are always ongoing. I just started using Teamzy, TEAMZY.com. It's a great relationship manager. It tells you who to contact that day. It also have you reach out to your coaches, your challengers, and just talk to them. It's a pretty cool system. Get creative in your posts. Don't just talk about the challenge groups. When announcing a challenge group, you want to always, like, for example, today's Transformation Tuesday. It's a great segue into announcing a challenge group. You can post a before and after picture of yourself. Most important thing is talk about how you felt in that before picture. People want to connect to your feelings. So were you unhappy? Were you lacking in confidence? Did you stand in the back during a family photo because you're ashamed of how you look? Talk about your journey during one of the programs, whether it's a 21-day fix or PIO, whatever it is. You want to talk about before, during, and after. How did you feel after you completed the program and after you took that picture? I know just about every single one of you, our before pictures were always looking like this, really unhappy. And the after picture, it's uncanny that almost every single person has a smile on their face because they're proud of their work. So you want to talk about how you felt after you completed the program, what you learned from it. And at the very end, talk about what you can offer. This business takes a few things to be successful. Number one, you have to have extreme belief in yourself that even through the hard times, like myself, I know Morgan, you're pretty much the same way. We could be at SC2 on the last day of the month, but better believe by midnight, I'm hitting Success Club. There's no doubt about it.
Yep.
Because I believe in myself so much that I know I'm going to get it done. Work ethic. Again, when you don't feel like showing up, think about your customers, the people who are looking to you for help. You want to make sure that you're setting a good example. So if you don't feel like working out, post about it. Tell them and do it anyway. Tell them how you feel. Tell them about your day. And, post that sweaty selfie or a short video clip of you pushing through it, because people are going to look to you for that inspiration. Patience is another one. Gary Vee said it at Summit. A lot of people give up too soon. Things don't happen overnight. You got to be very, very patient. I mean, I've been in the business a little over 3 years. And at this time last year, check this out. We came back from Summit, and I woke up that next Thursday. I was a diamond coach. My entire organization fell apart. I dropped on the coach. Again, because of my work ethic, that I have extreme belief in myself, I didn't mope. I just went to work. 14 days, I rebuilt my organization back to diamond. It hasn't dropped since, and I refuse to. This business is pretty awesome because we are in charge of our own destiny. So with those little things, the belief in yourself, the work ethic, and patience, we have the opportunity to create a great stream of income, whether it's a second stream of income or a primary stream of income, depending on where you are in your business. Those little tips will continue to drive your business forward. That's pretty much all I have to say about consistency and little tips on the business. Does anybody have any questions for me?
I am going to try. Hold on, I'm trying to unmute anybody. Okay, I am unmuting everyone if they have any questions. Okay, everybody should be able to say something. Anybody have any questions?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You can hear me?
I'm muting Luke again because he's too close to me. He can come over here. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead,
Luke,
Mary.
are you in the bathroom? Is Luke in the bathroom?
No, he's in the hallway by the front door.
I told you he was in the closet.
He looks like he's in the bathroom. Anyway, Rolly, I've been doing this for only just a few months. I started in April, and I started doing the inviting every day about mid-May. I've been inviting consistently every day. I have my lunch at work, and then I go to my car and I sit in my car for the last half hour and I invite 10 people a day. I go through everything on my friends list, and then like on the weekends I add more people to my friends list that I can invite during the week. And that's become a routine for me. Just for example, today I invited 10 people and I got 2 responses back. And, I went through the motions. I'm using the scripts and the pitches from the back office.
Right.
And I feel like I'm getting through the whole freaking pitch. And then there's a disconnect somewhere. It's like they drop off and they stop answering me after they've answered my questions and everything. And I'm like, what the fuck? So, I want to hear something. I want to hear some advice or something. It's like I just wish that somebody could sit with me and see how they're responding and how I'm responding and kind of, coach me a little bit on where I'm losing them and where I'm disconnecting.
Okay. So normally when people fall off and disappear, it's not you. It's because something's going on in their life. If you don't hear from somebody in a couple days, 24 to 48 hours, I would send a message going, hey, is everything okay? I was wondering if you were still interested in the group because I'm holding a spot for you. If not, that's okay. Just let me know and let's connect anyway. Let's get on the phone. I've found that a lot of times because we're so used to sending messages and text messages, a lot of times that's where the disconnect can be. Try to get them on the phone. Try and say, hey, would it be okay if I call you around this time? If not, what time would be best for you? I always give them the option to tell me what they want. If it would help, send me some screenshots of your conversations, and I'll try to figure out what's happening. But a lot of times it's just a follow-up. Ask them a follow-up question, like, are you okay? Because I have one happening right now where she stopped answering me, and
that's what I'm getting. I'm getting people that are like, I feel like they're interested. They're like, hey, I'm interested and tell me more. And I ask the questions and yes. And I send them, just a couple of videos of what I think might suit their needs based on their answers to my questions and then radio silence.
It's usually after you send the videos?
Yep.
All right. Simple question. Were you able to watch the videos that I sent you? If they say no, say, when would be a good time to talk to you about it? Will you be able to get to them today? Can I call you at 6 p.m., 8 p.m., whatever it is? Try and get them on the phone that day. That's what I've been I've noticed, because especially if they have kids or if they're working, life gets in the way.
Yeah, because I'm also getting that as well. I'll follow up and say, hey, have you had a chance to look at those videos? Or hey, I hope you had a good weekend. If they tell me they've imparted something is, they're like, oh, well, I have to go get my husband, or I'm going through this and that. I'll be like, hey, I hope everything's okay with your kid, or I know you had a crazy Friday. Did you have a chance to look at? No answer. They're not answering me back at that point. I'll give you another example. I invited a girl that I had been talking to on and off for the last month. She shut me down. And then after she even shut me down, I went back and presented the business opportunity. And, I gave her all the details about the business opportunity. And then she was like, okay, so I finally got her to agree to come to the Super Friday. She came to the Super Friday with me. She sat through the thing. She said she was interested. So I sent her a couple of videos based upon what she'd be interested in. And that was on Saturday that I sent her the videos. And to follow up with her, I followed up on Monday and asked her, hey, have you had a chance to look at the videos? You said you were interested. Radio silence. No answer.
All right. So when you're getting here, in the chat, I just put a little blurb that may work. Because when you take something away from somebody, I think, Morgan, you got something Nancy posted in our Diamond group, especially about the business opportunity. I found that when I take something away from somebody.
Yeah, it was a video. I think I actually posted it in our team page too.
It was a guy that was talking about that. I saw that video.
Kind of act like they're not important, then they're like, hey, well, wait a minute.
Yeah, so that something like that may work.
Okay.
It just all depends on how often. I would always ask them, if they say no, say, would it be okay if I follow up with you, ask for permission in a month or so to see if it would be a better time? That way you keep them on your list and follow up with them later. A lot of times it's timing. I mean, one second. Yeah, I'd love to help you. Send me some screenshots of your conversations. I'll try to steer you in the right way.
Okay.
And
I just, I want to see where I'm having a disconnect somewhere. And, I did telemarketing for about 14 years. And, when you're on the phone, you're using those two senses, I'm listening and I'm talking, and it's like, you're in that moment where you've got that person on the phone and you've gone through the whole pitch, and then it's either yes or no at that point. It's either they're going to hang up on you or, and it's a lot harder via messenger and texting, because it's like it's all about timing. It's like by the time you type out your last response to them, they may have already dropped off, and, so it's a lot harder on messenger is what I'm finding. And it's like, what is the thing that's going to get me over that hump?
And get on the phone.
It's like, what's going to be the magic phrase, so yeah, it's going to have to be.
Get on the phone. If you're comfortable getting on the phone, get on the phone with them. I've found that if somebody's not responding on Facebook, either they're busy or they just don't check it often enough. I mean, now that you can see if they've read your message, if they read your message and they're just ignoring you, give them some time. Go back to them in a week, 2 weeks. Be like, hey, is everything all right? But if it's a message that they haven't read, get them on the phone. You know, send them a text real quick. Hey, do you have a moment where we can talk? They say yes, call them.
Okay. Okay, so the next step is to go out on that limb and say, hey, let me call you. Let me you physically.
Say, let's talk
Okay.
about it. And that way they can tell you, voice their concerns, because sometimes they don't want to hurt your feelings.
Ah.
You know?
Okay. Well, I don't have.
Ask them. Say,
I don't have any left.
what is it that I can, what do you need to know in order for you to say yes? You know, and
Okay.
they can voice their concerns or ask you all the questions, and they might feel more connected to you on the phone instead of just an avatar on the other side of their phone.
Yep. Okay.
Yep. All right.
That. Okay, so I'm not crazy then. That's good.
No, it happens. It can happen. Connie, you have any questions?
No, I do not.
Wow, Connie's speechless.
No, I have no questions,
Okay, anybody else?
which is surprising, right? I'm usually,
Yeah, that's why I was like, you're speechless.
I don't usually, do I ask questions usually? I don't think I ask
No,
questions.
usually
I
the
have
same
comments.
things.
I have a couple of questions. Can
Go
everybody
ahead.
hear me?
Yes.
Hi. You mentioned Team Z.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How? And you said that that's a relationship manager.
Correct. It's
How do you use it exactly? What do you enter into it?
here. Let me do a screen share, and I'll show you.
Is it kind of like a spreadsheet to help you keep track of your contacts?
Kind of. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's made by coaches for coaches.
Wow.
And you upload your Facebook contacts, your phone contacts. So these are the people and who I have to talk to. So I click on them and I enter what we talked about. If I made it, the type of contact. If I made an invite, a free group, a challenge group, business opportunity, and they say,
So it's kind of like Microsoft CRM almost.
yeah, pretty much. And if he says, okay, follow up with me in 2 days, a week, or whenever it is, I put it there. I would check in my follow-ups every day, and I know when I have to follow up with people. These are prospects. These are my current customers. These are my coaches. It tells me exactly who I need to follow up with that day. So my thing is, go ahead.
Can you click on your follow-ups just so I can see what it looks like? Okay, perfect. And it'll give you the date that you have to follow up.
Correct.
Okay.
Now, like for myself, I have, I have it set to, I need to connect to 10 prospects a day, check in with 10 of my customers a day, and 5 of my coaches every single day. Again, depending on what your goals are, because you set income goals when you're setting up the program, and it tells you how many people you should connect to a day. You do your dailies, whether you've done your social media posts, your personal development, if you drank your shake, and if you worked out. You log it all. You enter your why right here when you're setting it up. So you look at it every single day. So when you don't feel like it, you take a glance at that as a little reminder, and it helps. I believe this costs. There's a 30-day free trial for it, and it costs $30 a month. I mean, if it helps you keep you organized and you're continually hitting Success Club, it's worth it. It's a tax. It's a business expense. You can write it off on your taxes. But again, that may not work for you. It may work for others. I like it a lot. Some of my coaches are using it. A lot of the leaders are starting to use it now. It's pretty cool.
Question.
Yes.
I'm ready.
Go.
Pick me. Okay, so my question is, we're under Kevin Graham.
Uh-huh.
Is there somewhere to click that you can see who he is, where you know him from, other than just the conversation you had with him?
When you're entering him, when you upload your contacts,
Yeah.
you can do that.
Okay.
Or when you see his name, you open up a Facebook tab and you can enter it in the notes.
Okay.
If you need a reminder, I know who he is. Most of the people I know on Facebook, I have over 3,000 people. I know every single one of them, except for some coaches here and there. But most of the contacts that are genuinely mine, I'll know who they are. I don't really need reminders, and if I do, I'll just look them up.
Right. What about like tagging them for a certain, they have kids, or they have a husband, or they have certain things where you can tag them so that you could go back and say, I want to run a challenge group with all parents. And so I want to look at all my members that have kids.
Right here.
Okay.
You can tag parents, or for him, I'll put DJ. He's a nurse. Yeah, you can tag him.
Yeah. Okay. And can you share this with your other team members?
No.
So if you worked as a team with your downline and you wanted to share information on members, you couldn't do that. Okay, that's fine. No problem.
I mean, I'm sure you can make a suggestion to the Team Z team and see what they say.
Yeah, no problem. Everything else is good though.
Yeah, no, it's a pretty cool tool.
The reason I'm asking is because I'm comparing it to Asana. I'm actively using Asana.
Okay.
But I like this because it actually has the daily goals and the drinking and all that, your 4 vital behaviors.
Right.
And I like the fact that it links up to Facebook and you can import this stuff. So I think it's definitely a step above Asana.
Well, again, this is created by coaches.
Yeah.
So it's very specific.
Can you import your messenger conversations?
You can.
Facebook Messenger.
You're going to have to copy and paste them.
Probably.
I'm sure later in the future they're working on an integration. I don't know, because even to import your contacts, you have to export Facebook and then take the HTML file and upload it to the system. It's a little bit tedious at first to set it up, but once it's set up, it's easy. And when you're adding new contacts, it's pretty simple. First name, last name, phone number. You can tag them what they are and just hit add. And then you can add notes to it later. But it's a pretty easy system to use.
Cool.
Yeah, Asana does the same thing, Marianne, where you literally have to copy and paste the conversation from the messenger into Asana, but it's a huge help because, to your point, it carries in the dates, the time, so you can keep track of that conversation in the one place. It's nice. So I'm gonna definitely look at this and try this instead.
No, this is awesome to know
Thanks,
because
Roland.
couple weekends ago, I started a spreadsheet, an Excel spreadsheet, and that was insane. It took me an entire Saturday to, just input all the information and create the chart, and it was bad. So this is helpful.
Cool. Anybody else have any questions?
No, I'm good. Anybody else? We lost Tia. There's something wrong with her computer. She was privately messaging me. So, we all good? Anybody else have any questions? No. Thank you, Rolly, so much for doing this for us.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. It was an honor.
I want to do a quick screenshot so everybody smiles so we don't look like chickens. Okay, great. Great, guys. Hopefully y'all took notes and look into the Team Z that he was talking about, and we'll talk soon.
Yeah, Marianne, send me some screenshots of those combos. I'll try to help you out.
I will. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.